major brands that I would suggest you buy if you're looking at getting into fishing. My personal favorite, look, everyone is different, so you don't have to take my word for it, but everyone that I've spoken to, at least the majority of people, including myself, would agree that Shimano is the best brand to go for. Second on the list for me would be Daiwa. Daiwa make really good stuff. Most of you guys fish, you would know the range like the Daiwa BGs. They're great reels to use. Some of the higher end reels like the Daiwa MQs are very good, as well as they've got a range of reels known as the Saltwater. Arguably one of the best reels you can get on the planet. The Shimano Stellas rival them, but there's a debate between the two. Both reels are incredibly good, highly priced, but what you get is some of the most powerful reels to stop any fish that comes your way. Third personal best would be Penn. I enjoy Penn reels. They make some great reels. Penn is a great brand to go for when it comes to grinders, because they really look after the angler in regards to how waterproof their stuff is. They have one of the highest IP ratings when it comes to reels. Their Penn slammers are next to none when it comes to being watertight and water sealed. Of course, you got the range like the Spinfishers, which are also great reels. These are just 3 of the brands. There are many other brands you can choose from, and within those brands there are many different ranges of reels. You get an entry level, a mid-range, and a high range reel. Let's break down basically what sets these reels apart, what to take if you were to make a decision on a reel to buy, and I'm going to give you my personal opinion and personal preferences when it comes to these things. Alright guys, so this isn't really a sponsored video, so none of these brands have sponsored me to talk about their products. This is just what I happen to have in my box. So for the sake of having some examples, I'm just using my personal reels. So I get asked the question quite often is like, okay, what do I buy for fishing here, St. Lucia, for example? The answer to that question isn't really as simple. You kind of have to ask what's really happening and what it is you want to do. All right, that's pretty important. So say, for example, I wanted to go and fish for wave garrig. I wouldn't necessarily take my big reel. I'd rather opt to taking my small grinder, like my 3000. Here's an example of a 3000 size reel. Pretty small grinder. I use this on my 7-foot light. I've got a Sensation Power Plus. I'm sure you guys, if you watch my content, you would have seen me fishing with it. I use this. I recently got this, by the way, and I've fished with it a couple times, and I really enjoy the setup. It's small, it's compact. The braid that I have on here is super light, and that brings me to my next point. Now, the sizes you get in grinders vary a lot. They start from a 500, which is literally half the size of this reel. So you get a 500, you get a 1000, you get a 2.5, you get a 3, you get a 4, you get a 5, you get a 6, a 8, a 10, a 20, and a 25. Those are the basic sizes, and that size structure is applicable for all the brands. Previously there was a bit of confusion when it came to the sizes of the reels, but now all the brands are kind of adopting the same size structure, which is great. It just it alleviates the confusion as well, because you know, if I'm buying a 3000, you know exactly what you're going to get. Right, so let's look at a bigger size reel. And why would I take a size reel like this? Now, this is my Shimano Sahara 5000. Most of you guys would have seen me fishing with this in the past. This reel is great if you want to spin for much bigger fish, or maybe say you have an 11-foot rod and you want to try and spin for bigger kingfish, or you're looking to throw paddle tail for bigger carp and things like that. I would use this particular reel purely because it matches the rod perfectly. Right, now on here you wouldn't necessarily fish as light as the small 3000. You'd fish rather 20 pound or 30 pound braid on this reel, and that helps a lot because sometimes you really need to apply a lot more pressure on your drag when you're trying to stop some of the bigger fish you're targeting. And if you have a light reel, you can only apply so much. You know, it's a challenge. You could potentially land any fish with this size reel, but the nature of the rod being that it's so long, and you want to throw a spoon and get mad distance, you want to rather go for a slightly bigger size reel that can match the rod, and then also you can match the braid that's on your reel to your complete setup, because you're going to be throwing heavier, you're going to be targeting bigger, and it's kind of par for the course that you want to go for heavy line that's going to help you catch bigger fish, right? So long story short, let's look at a bigger size reel. Now you guys would know that I've been fishing with this reel for years, so if it looks a bit funny, just bear with me. It is an old reel, and I'd never really used to take care of my stuff as much as I do nowadays. So yeah, this is my Akuma Azores XP. I love this reel. You guys would know that every video you see me Boise fishing with is Azores. I love this reel to death because it's very strong. The gears are extremely good. It's got a smooth drag, and I can target basically more or less any fish that comes around. This particular size, in fact, is an 8,000. I could have gotten bigger, but I've got a 14-foot bluefish surf rod, and this reel just matches that rod perfectly for me. To answer the question, it all depends on how heavy you want to fish, what do you want to fish for, where are you fishing, and how do you want to approach the situation. As I explained earlier, I never maintained my reel as much as I should have, and I'm paying for it now. My reel doesn't look as kosher as it did when I got it, but if you just maintain your reel by cleaning it with salt remover and you use a silicone based spray on your tackle, your stuff should last you years. Definitely want to do that, because the reels aren't cheap nowadays. They are pretty expensive, so you don't want to keep buying, and you don't want to find yourself in a situation where your reel is seized up now and you really want to fish, but now your stuff doesn't work as well as it did. So just always bear that in mind. Get yourself some reel cleaner, silicone spray, and then you're good to go. Okay, last point I want to make. There's a lot of technical jargon out there, which is great. It's great to know all that information, but just always remember, as an angler, it's all up here. You can have the best tackle out there. You can spend thousands and thousands of rands or dollars on your stuff, but if you just stick to the basics and you understand the fundamentals, you can get away with a lot when it comes to fishing. Mind you, it's always nice to have the best car. Everybody wants a Ferrari. Not everyone can afford a Ferrari, but most people can drive Ferraris. The point of this is just to encourage you guys to go out there and fish. If you want to get the best stuff, great. If you can't afford the best stuff, it doesn't really matter. What matters is you get out there, you have a good time, you catch fish, and you learn from your experiences. And then in time, and if your wallet allows, then you can go and you can get yourself some really good stuff. Like I said, I mean, this reel is like 5 years old and I'm still using it. I'm very happy with it, and I'll only get a new one if this one packs up completely. So moral of the story, guys, is it's not always about the tackle, it's about the angler. Always remember that. Maybe I should have just said that. You could speak the whole day on reels, on anything fishing related in fact, and you won't cover everything. So I hope I could give you guys a bit of insight as to how I approach reels, what I would do if I were to approach buying a new reel, and I hope that helps you. Please let me know in the comments, hit me up on my social media, check me out on Facebook, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and maybe we go fishing together. I'll see you in St. Lucia when you come to town. Thanks guys, see you later, cheers.